Today I'm talking to Bart Verschoor. He's the CEO of Seal, and Seal has their public ICO today. And Seal is an international team, but they're located, the headquarters in Amsterdam center. And they're a blockchain-powered product authentications and service platform. So Bart, what are you into?
So I really love video games, and this is a collectible 1994, and I want to see if it's real. So what I do is I open the Seal app, I just hold it next to the chip, and bam, it's real.
And you see the information.
Yeah.
So Bart, you like to prove that things are real?
Yeah, it's really important to know if things are authentic or not. And so what we do is we prove the authenticity of products, and the first thing that pops into your mind is probably luxury goods and things that are in the stores. And of course, these are counterfeited as well on a massive scale. But a much larger problem is the second-hand market, the sum of all the products ever sold. So it's
huge.
It's enormous. It's really enormous. A lot of products, they lose value over time, but there are also many products that have some sort of collectible value. They increase in value over time. They are stores of value.
So which products are you thinking? I mean, I'm thinking of luxurious handbags and sunglasses.
That's a very good point, and it's a strong business case. What we want to do is we want to start there, but we definitely want to address other markets as well, the niche markets. So for instance, I love video games, right? So I want to know that those are real. But other people have other hobbies, and they're willing to spend a lot of money on that. So,
yeah, sneakers I saw.
You have sneaker freaks, you have art collectors, wines. There's so many things for so many people, and these niches are very important to us.
Okay, so that's Seal, and in 8 hours and 38 minutes, you're basically starting the public sale of your token. You're in the ICO roller coaster. How does it feel?
It feels amazing. It's both frightening and exciting at the same time. There's so many things coming at us at once, but it's most of all, it's very exciting.
Yeah, you've been in other businesses before, and
Yep.
you came out of the gaming industry. Obviously, that's why you're so crazy about gaming, social gaming.
Right.
And you also worked for Deloitte, I think, in the past.
Yeah.
So you also worked in very serious business. This whole ICO business, I mean, you're launching or getting a lot of money from international business, but on the other hand, there's many startups at the moment using that same thing. What does it take to make a successful ICO so far? What you've learned?
I've learned so many things. First of all, it is an incredible roller coaster. One thing I know is you need money to even start doing the ICO process, and this is not like Kickstarter. This is on a whole other level. The money that goes around in the crypto space is enormous, and so service providers, they also know that. So if you want to get the word out,
if you want to publish a press release, what's the going price now?
Well, if you want to be on like the top news sites, you can easily pay 0.8 Bitcoin. Doesn't guarantee you coverage. That's just your press release.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And if you want to have an influencer who has 100,000 followers and you want to have an interview from him and get a little video, what's the going price there? $50,000 or something like that?
Around that mark. And so this is why it's very important to use growth hackers that are creative and can find ways to grow organically, because otherwise you're going to burn through a lot of money in a really short amount of time.
Okay. Tobit, you do marketing at Seal. How do you do marketing where everybody wants thousands and thousands of dollars to do anything?
Well, first of all, my job is to find people who really care about the concept and the product, and to build a community as well. Yeah, I'm focusing on web scraping and find the right people like reporters, but also influencers on social platforms, and try to connect them with our brand and the concept in general.
And there are people still enthusiastic without saying, hey, give me $50,000 and I'll make everybody crazy.
Yeah, of course, but it's also about doing it directly to those people and skip the influencers maybe, and find directly the right people by scraping the right files and contacting them.
Smart tools to find the right people. I mean, you need a coin, but a coin is like 3 minutes work, right? I mean,
we are building an Ethereum ERC20 token.
Yeah. So Bart, what do you need for a successful ICO?
You need a very good concept. It needs to be very clear, and you need to have thought of every aspect on the business, the technology, the team, everything.
Yeah. People are harsh.
People are harsh. Once you publish it, once it's out there, people will scrutinize your plans, and if they find something that's not okay, they will tell you.
Yeah, so here we have some interesting people. These are sneaker freaks who love it and who basically want to know that everything is for real. So you have a clear purpose, you have a clear business case for the brands and for the consumer. So that's number one. What else do you need?
What else do you need? You need tenacity, you need a lot of hard work, and you need street smarts.
Okay, street smart. I mean, and now for you, you are into brands, so you need connections to the brands. How do you build them? Who's this Max guy? He's an advisor of yours.
Yeah, he's one of the people that's going to help us build these connections with the brands. He's the founder and honorary member of React, one of the largest anti-counterfeiting organizations in the world, and his Rolodex is filled with the C-level leadership of all the brands you know.
Okay, so you have connections to the brand, because talking to the brands takes a while. Okay, the team, two brothers together. Well, we know that you are in the consultancy and the gaming business. What did yours do?
Yours has been building products his entire life, and he's also been building companies his entire life. So,
Michael de Blok, VP of Seal USA. Where does he come from?
He is an ex-Microsoft employee, and he quit his job to work at Seal.
Cool. Michael, you used to live in Seattle, worked with Microsoft, and quit to go to Seal. Why?
I feel very passionate about anti-counterfeiting. It's bad for society, and with the team that we have and the technology, we're going to solve this problem.
Ilya Rule?
Ilya Rule is he's an international deal maker. He comes from a Russian background, and he has a very broad network.
Yeah. Ilya, you're the international deal maker. Why did you join Seal?
I'm actually really passionate about this product. I believe in our team, our friends, people I grew up with. We have a big solution to a global problem in the world, and I believe we can solve that.
Joël Happé, of course, we know as the Dutch blockchain evangelist. And Joël, what do you do for Seal?
As you all know, I'm really active in the blockchain space for a couple of years now. So I use my network to get us to the events, to ask for interviews, to approach influencers. Because we're going on the Seal World Tour. So we're going to Switzerland, Bangkok, Dubai, even Seoul, South Korea.
Yeah, biggest market in the world almost.
Indeed, indeed. A lot of investors.
Hey, and Richard Kastelein published a really nice review about you. Did you have anything to do with it by any chance?
Yes, indeed, I did that. Yes, so he published a review.
You got to know him at the blockchain. Stephanie Mulder, marketing director.
Yeah, she's responsible for everything marketing. What's nice to say about her is that she comes from the brand agency background, which is interesting because brand agencies are able to integrate our technology into their solutions.
Stephanie, you're Mrs. Seal Branding. Why does your video look so different than all the other ICOs?
I did this because we as Seal are not like a typical ICO. If you look at the ICOs, it's all about like explainer movies, like animations. It's not like authentic at all. And of course we are authentic, so we wanted to have a video like Nike's or the other brands they do.
And you use the same company, which also makes them.
Exactly. So yeah, the production company was pretty good.
And then the advisor, we already talked about Max Blom Sr., who has an incredible Rolodex. Kees Giel from NXP, why is he important?
He's incredibly important because he has a lot of leadership experience. He knows people in the semiconductor industry, primarily NXP, which is the largest NFC producer in the world.
And you need a good chip in every product. That's the basis of your company.
Yeah, no chip, no product.
Okay. Noah Boeken, what does he do?
He's a famous poker player and also an established entrepreneur. He has a chain of restaurants in the Amsterdam area.
Yeah.
And
poker players are a lot of times into crypto. It's amazing. I see them everywhere.
Yeah, there's a lot of affinity between poker players and cryptocurrency.
Okay. So, Katarina, you're one of the advisors. Where do you work?
TBWA.
And why do they allow you to be on the advisory board of a startup like this?
Because it's all about innovation, connecting tech with the brands, and cherishing what the stories that they tell. Yeah.
Yeah, and these commercial agencies which you represent, I mean, they really like to go to the brands and make them more innovative in this field and connect them to the blockchain and to
exactly. Blockchain is hot. Everything about that is hot. So yes.
Okay, you have a great concept, you have a great team, you have great advisors. Now, what do you do to get the ICO under the attention?
Yeah, you need to get the word out, so you go to a lot of conferences, you make a great white paper, you put it, you build your Telegram group, your community, and you try to get published on as many sites as possible. You reach out on ICO benchmarking sites, you ask people to rate your ICO, reach out to people on LinkedIn, on Facebook
communicate. And you need to get buzz. You need to get buzz. Yeah. And that is, of course, the hardest thing, because it's really crowded right now. Eh?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, you went to San Francisco, to London, and to Amsterdam to a conference. What were the difference?
So the big difference between London and Amsterdam, they're so close to each other, but they're so different as well. So the conference in Amsterdam was actually set up in a much more professional and more greater scale. Many more people came to the conference, but the number of whales was perhaps slightly lower. London, the conference was of lesser quality, but the type of people that came there, these are really wealthy people.
Yeah, lots of money.
Yeah.
So the money is really floating around there in London at an incredible rate. And you need to get their attention. So there, basically, it's not so decentralized. You talk to people who have a lot of money and they can immediately invest $1 million or something like that in your ICO, right? That's the difference.
Yeah, there's a lot of whales in London.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so what's happening this afternoon? You're starting it.
Yeah, so we're doing everything we can to get more buzz out. So everybody's working very hard to reach out to influencers and so on. From here on out, it's all marketing. It's all spreading the word.
Okay, what is the amount of money which you went to raise?
$33 million.
33 million. Is that the max or is that the max? That's the cap.
Yeah, $33 million is what we're raising, but we'll set the amount on the actual Ethereum rate. But I can tell you that the majority of the funds that we're raising now is actually in the pre-ICO. So the ICO will be smaller than the pre-sale. And
that's
this is
normal
different
nowadays. Huh? Why is that?
Well, it used to not be like that. Yeah. The reason is that the pre-sale is, you want to get the people excited, and you do that by with the first launch, right?
And you give them a discount, and then people are enthusiastic, become ambassadors, and then
exactly people have a vested interest to make the to make it work, make the project work, so yeah, there's a trend towards putting everything in a pre-sale and then doing a smaller ICO.
Yeah, so the goal of the ICO is, one, to have the money, and secondly, to build a community, right? Which you can have ambassadors, which can reach out to the brands and do other things. Because then, when do you expect to have your money raised? Is that June or something like that? Or what else? What date are you thinking of?
No, I'm the completion of the entire fundraising process. I would expect, including distribution, I would hope that it would not take more than 2.5 to 3 months.
Okay. Yeah, so before the summer. And then you're building your company. Then what's going to happen with that money?
Well, first of all, we're going to pull out all the stops and approach all the brands, because the one company that will succeed in this space is the company that will that is able to attract the brands.
Yeah, because there's 10, 20 competitors who basically want to prove that products are for real. And they are, sometimes they're in medical markets or the specialty, but there's a lot of them. You need to be the first, it's a network effect.
Right, so technology is important, but it's not the most important part. It's important to have, a valid concept and a valid product, but in the end it's about the business execution. So we're going to put out all the stops and approach the brands in a great way. Yeah.
So you have a good network for that. You have good technology. The product is working. I saw it working with each other. When is the app coming to the App Store?
The app will be launched, I believe, before the end of the second quarter.
Okay, so the second quarter will be the app release. So you have chips and you have an app and you have basic concepts how you can use it. And then the app, so in the second half of this year, you need to get the brands and the first year. And then what's happening next?
Then we need to actually scale the organization. It's not just getting the brands, because that is a little bit too easy. These are complex sales processes on the highest echelon in these companies. So you need to actually find your product market fit. We know our story to people that want to participate in the token sale. We know our story to consumers, to creators, but we need to also validate our story with the brands. And we have had many conversations, and the reception is very good, but it needs to be fine-tuned.
Closed. Yeah. Okay. So one of the very important part is to have a chip in every product. So it needs to be cheap enough so that you can get a wide range of products. Where are you there in that production process, and what do you see as a price development?
Well, the price development is very optimistic. It's currently at a $0.25 per chip, but you still need the inlay. So that's the chip is just the chip, but if you put it on a piece of clothing, it needs to be washable, so you need an inlay. And that is between like 3 and 20 cents, depending on the inlay. And the prices are declining. This is a trend, and this is good because that will stimulate mass adoption.
Okay, and so but that is basically the RFID industry itself, which is developing very rapidly, or is it your own chip?
No. We're currently taking advantage of the market trends.
Okay. Bart, what is Seal in 5 years?
Seal in 5 years is starting to become the currency of authenticity. We want it to be a medium of exchange that you can use to directly pay for the products. So not only do you certify if the product is real, you also pay for it in full with the Seal tokens. And I think 5 years is a realistic time span if you compare it to the adoption rate of Bitcoin and how it has accelerated over the last 2 years. That should be doable.
On my way to the next appointment. Okay, it was good to see the people of Seal. Great team. Clear vision, a clear ICO. I mean, you have to have the network effect. You have to be there. You have to have good chips, which you put into the product. You have to have good technology to do it. You have to have especially access to the brands. And the ICO needs to work out. So I think they'll be okay with the ICO. I think they'll raise the money. And then the next thing starts is, how does this company basically conquer this market? There's many competitors. These guys are in Europe. They have a good connection to the brand. Let's find out. I think today they're doing the pre-ICO, so it's an interesting time to start going on it. I think it's definitely a real ICO with a clear vision, a clear product, a clear team. So I'm a lot more enthusiastic since I visit them, and I don't have any coins.
One more update. Yesterday I went back at 4 o'clock to basically see how they would celebrate their pre-ICO opening. I never seen that start. But what I saw was a lot of stressed and a little depressed people because there were technical problems. They couldn't get the money straight on the website, technical stuff. And they had to basically not start it. They basically delayed it for 10 days. So if you now go to Seal.network, that's the website of the ICO, the counter is back to 10 o'clock. And all the community was ready to go, ready to send their Ethereums and ready to send all the money. And they couldn't. So, and then so that gives a lot of discussion. Are these guys able to do it? So just one step further, in an ICO. There was a TV crew which is going to follow them for 3 months. So in 3 months, you're going to all see this drama live. It's really interesting. So we're going to wait for 10 days, and I'm going to spend my first Ether on this ICO. So that's the latest.